button? Okay, well, hello again. Happy Friday. Welcome to the presentation for College of Business students. I think this is going to be a very informal presentation. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. As I mentioned before, I'll try to answer questions while I'm admitting and presenting at the same time. If not, I will address all the questions in the chat once I'm done with my section of the presentation. Feel free to also just raise your hand and ask any questions you may have. I think this is a great opportunity for you. You have 4 faculty in the room who are ready to talk to you and present their programs. I know they've been working very hard for some time on planning and putting these programs together. So again, take advantage of this. I'm going to skip some of the bullet points. I think there's a lot of things that are sort of common sense. So let's see. I think for a lot of bullet points that you can see on this screen, probably a lot of you have already traveled abroad. Can you maybe raise your hand or put something in the chat if you've traveled, yes or no? And if you have, where did you go? Anybody? Yay, awesome. Where did you go, Stephanie?
I've been to London, Bath, and Oxford.
Awesome. Anybody else? Any volunteers? Yes, DeVary?
Yeah, I backpacked around Europe a couple summers ago. So I went to Spain, Italy, Germany, and France.
Awesome. I should also add, I'm originally from Russia. So I grew up in Russia. I studied abroad in China. I traveled in Europe, and now I live in the United States. Awesome. I'm sure there are a lot of students who speak other languages. What languages do you guys speak? Iceland. Somebody, oh, Morgan went to Iceland. Awesome. That's on my list. So what languages? I speak Russian, a little bit of English, some Chinese. Spanish. Does anybody speak Spanish? Croatian. Awesome. Cool. I'm sure, since you're here, you have interest in major global issues. I'm sure you want to gain new perspectives. So what is it? Yes, you want to study abroad. So I'm sure you will take advantage while you're at UIC and participate in study abroad programs. Of course, there are a ton of benefits. There are personal benefits, there are professional benefits, there are academic benefits. I don't think I really need to talk about all these different bullet points. And faculty in the room, if you would like to join and sort of share your perspectives, feel free to do so. I like to sort of share personal experiences. So when I studied abroad, that was my first ever out of the country by myself, going somewhere, being on the plane. I didn't have a passport before I went. So it was quite an experience for me. I was so nervous. I remember it was a while back, but I remember that I couldn't even sleep at night before because I was so worried that I'm going to be on the plane for 9 hours by myself. So I can relate to a lot of students who come to my office and say, hey, I've never been outside of Illinois. I don't know how I'm going to survive. Well, look at me. I studied in China for a year. I did study Chinese before I went, but when I got there, I couldn't understand the word. I didn't know how to use chopsticks. I didn't know anything what was going on. But by the end of that year, I definitely increased some self-confidence. I survived. I gained, different perspectives. I met so many new people. Of course, in terms of improving my language skills or meeting new people, it was a very valuable experience. We also have students on my program. I didn't, unfortunately, had an opportunity to do an internship, but other students on my program had an opportunity to do an internship. They definitely gained and they developed different skills that I'm sure they were able to apply later when they started working. Just to give you another example, I had a student who was a finance major. He studied in London. During his study abroad semester in London, he was also interning in one of the banks in London. Towards the end of his internship, he was offered a job. And after he graduated from UIC, he moved to London. So as far as I know, he has been living in London thanks to his study abroad and internship experience. In terms of the academic benefits, of course, we can go on and on and on. But I think the main sort of takeaway is that I always encourage students to sort of think outside of the box and take courses that would supplement and enhance their UIC experience. So if there are any courses that are not being offered at UIC, I always encourage students to think about taking them. Because again, if those courses would supplement their studies at UIC, I think that would obviously students would gain different perspectives by taking those courses. Faculty, any edits, would like to add anything? No, not yet? Okay. Benefits. Again, we can just keep going on and on and on. Yeah.
Irina, I think Dr. Pagano wants to share something. Go ahead, Dr. Pagano.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's just a really great experience. I've been to a number of different countries over the years, and you learn so much about the culture, about different people, about how they think and how they act, and it's just a really great experience to bring that back to the United States, and you just learn so much. I mean, you learn a lot from people, from your fellow students, but there's nothing like actually going there and being there. It's just a great experience.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Pagano. Absolutely. And also, if you look at this last bullet point on the slide, only 10% of US undergraduates study abroad. So if you can be one of those 10%, can you imagine what your resume would look like, or your graduate school application? You're going to be different. You're gonna be up there, among those 10%. Of course, when you go abroad, some sort of practical is that you can complete your business core requirements abroad. You will get UIC credit, so it will count towards your UIC degree. It's like as if you're on campus, but not really. You are in Mexico, or you are in Dublin. You're somewhere else earning those UIC credits. You will, again, gain real world work experience, understand the global marketplace. So we can go on and on and on. But I think I would like to go to the next slide.
I would like to just echo, Irina, if you allow me, what
Absolutely.
Pagano said. Participating in an exchange opportunity, it's a life-changing experience. And let me quickly offer you my own experience on that regard. I had the opportunity to study in Belgium. And before I joined one of the companies I worked for, I didn't know how important it was going to be the opportunity for my future work. When I joined this multinational company, I was offered the opportunity to work in several countries. And having that previous experience in Belgium gave me the confidence to accept those challenges and that become really very successful experiences. So I truly recommend to have the opportunity to study in a foreign country, and that will be reflected not only on your CV, but also in the opportunities you have in your future work arena. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Dr. Cabrera. Thank you. Thanks. So just going to the next slide. This is our team. There are 5 of us in the office. So depending on the location or country where you're interested in going, you may have a different advisor. as we sort of divided the world based on regions, languages. So I guess we're looking forward to meeting you guys. Where can you study? In a lot of different countries, pretty much all over the world. We have programs for every major, for every student, different durations. So you just need to sort of think about what is it that you're hoping to gain from study abroad experience. And we are here to help you to identify and find the best possible program for you. So there are sort of three, I would say, main program types. So number one that I would like to tell you about is faculty directed. And today we have 4 faculty from UIC College of Business who will be presenting their own programs. So those are short-term programs, usually range from 4 to 6 weeks in the summer. Or there is another type of faculty-directed programs, what we call as an embedded program, which means is that the study abroad experience is embedded usually in the spring course. So students will take a spring course at UIC, and as part of that course, during spring break, they would travel abroad. So it is part of the course. All programs are led by UIC faculty members. Usually these are very kind of smaller programs, and majority of the students, if not all, are for UIC, of course, from UIC. And of course, this is all UIC coursework that you'll be taking abroad. In terms of partnership programs, those are probably majority of the programs that we offer. Those programs are offered during summer semester or academic year, although we hardly have any students going for a year for obvious reasons. I would say the most popular time when students go abroad is during the summertime. So these programs, the partnership programs, they have either study center or they help students to enroll in local universities. We work with students, and actually for all these programs, we help you guys, again, to identify the best possible program setup, because for example, the direct enroll option at the local university may not be ideal for everybody, right? And as the last, sort of the third type of program that we offer, those are exchange programs. And those programs are usually offered during semester year. The main difference with the faculty-directed and partnership programs is that students pay regular UIC tuition. So if you choose to go in an exchange program, you will pay regular UIC tuition, and then it will be housing and program fee on top of that. Whereas with faculty-directed and partnership programs, you will pay program fee, but you will not pay UIC tuition in that case. So this is just, again, just kind of a summary of different programs that we have and what sort of they offer. One thing to mention is in terms of the tuition waivers, again, if you are going on exchange programs, you can apply, and if you have tuition waiver, you are able to apply tuition waivers for exchange programs. Unfortunately, for all other types of programs, you won't be able to apply tuition waivers because you do not pay UIC tuition. As I said before, you will get UIC credit that will count towards your graduation requirement. Students are taking, not allowed, UIC students are not allowed to take courses pass-fail abroad. You're getting letter grades, and those grades will affect your UIC GPA. For every single course that you will be taking abroad, you will need to get approval from appropriate advisors to make sure that you are getting credit. In terms of differences in academics abroad, depending on the program of your choice, for example, if you choose to go to a university in the UK, the style of teaching is extremely different. You may not have any tests or quizzes throughout the semester, and your final grade will be based on that final exam that you will have to take one day before the semester is over. So as you can imagine, you really need to work on the materials and kind of on your study habits throughout the semester, because nobody will be checking you. So again, this is something what we will discuss during the advising appointment with you, and we will help you to identify the right program for you. There are a lot of different sort of options, components that are offered on study abroad programs. As I mentioned, internships. I feel like especially, I think internship experience is important for everybody, but especially for students in the College of Business. I am the advisor for programs in Asia, and I have quite a few students who are interested or who are going or who went to Tokyo through Temple University, and they have very robust internship programs. So if you are interested in going to Asia, I would definitely look into that particular program because they have a variety of different internships. Usually they're all unpaid, but they're credit-bearing internships. So you will receive credit for your degree. There are also research opportunities that are offered throughout different programs, throughout the locations, different locations. And we just added service learning opportunities for those students who are interested in service learning. Any questions, comments? All right, virtual international internships. So the field of international education had to adjust, right, for the to the recent events. And I've been in the office for some time. And the first time I heard and I saw this, I'm like, no, I don't think it's going to work. This is not what we're here for. Well, I feel like, we've had few students who did this. We received positive feedback. So I personally have changed my opinion about this. This definitely will not replace an on-site study abroad, on-site internship experience. But I feel like this sort of experience will allow students who are not able to go to another country to study or do an internship, they will have an opportunity to gain this global perspective. So if this is something you're interested in, and this is throughout the world, not only in English-speaking countries, and you do not have to speak the local language of that particular country to participate in this kind of internship. So if you are interested, if you are thinking, talk to us. We'll definitely try to find the right program and the right placement for you. And students, again, this is a full credit experience. Students received credit for this. This is just to summarize. I'm going to quickly look at, okay, I have a few more minutes to summarize the process. So in order to get started, you need to attend the first step informational session. Starting this fall, we've started offering them in person and online. So whatever works for you. Make sure you know the deadline. So if you are thinking about spring, the deadline October 15th. For some programs, it may be a little bit earlier. So just check the deadline for your program. Review eligibility requirements for our office. There's nothing really specific. You just have to be in good standing. Some programs may have eligibility requirements in terms of GPA or some course prerequisites, depending on the level of the coursework, what you're looking for to take. Choose a program. Again, we are here to help. Use our website. It's a great resource. There is a search engine that will allow you to search by location, by field of study, by internship, no internship, whatever you feel like what's important for you. And then the next step would be apply to a program. Okay, so this is our new Flames Abroad portal. You can search for programs, and also you can apply to different programs through this portal. It should, we've been having some technical difficulties, but it should go live early next week so that students are able to apply for spring. Okay, funding for study abroad. Study abroad doesn't have to be, and it's not more expensive than UIC. there's as you saw probably the map, there's so many different options, so many opportunities. So there are programs that are more expensive than UIC, and there's programs that are less expensive than UIC. Even in the same country, again, if you take Japan, I don't know if you know, but Tokyo is one of the most expensive cities in the world. So obviously, if you want to go to Tokyo, it's going to be quite expensive. But there's a program in Nagasaki that is probably about the same as UIC, if not less. Sorry, I just had to mute somebody. So again, when you talk to the advisors, when you're searching for programs, there are all types, there are different programs in course offerings, but also in terms of the price. We are here to help you to sort of look through different programs and identify. Again, when I talk to my students during my advising appointment, my first question is, why? What is it that you're hoping to fulfill from this experience, and how can I help you to achieve it and get there? Now, going back to funding, if you are in financial aid at UIC, anything that you receive, whatever you're eligible for to receive for UIC, you should be able to use that to pay for study abroad. So any scholarships, any grants, any loans, anything, again, you can use that. So financial aid will travel with you. There are also a lot of scholarships available. There are UIC scholarships, there are study abroad scholarships, there are nationally competitive scholarships. And don't be shy to apply to scholarships. We actually have nationally competitive scholarships, and students, I mean, since they range sort of from $5,000 to $8,000, students just don't think that they're good enough to apply and receive those. Well, no, you need to apply, because every single term we have students who receive nationally competitive scholarships. For our programs that are offered by our partners, we've negotiated program discounts. So as you can see, again, there are a lot of different funding sources available for you. Of course, it's work. You need to apply. You need to write essays. You need to get letters of recommendations, but you can do it. This is one of the examples for the nationally competitive scholarships. One of the biggest scholarships that we offer is the Gilman International Scholarship. Students have to be Pell Grant recipients or Pell eligible. And also they've just added a new scholarship, Gilman McCain Scholarship. And this is for children of dependents of active duty military service members. As you can see, it's quite the awards, range from 5. I would say the average I've seen maybe 4,500, even for the summer. So this is a big scholarship. And, it can go up to $8,000. Now, important thing to remember is that the October 5th is the deadline for students who are thinking of going abroad in the spring and summer and fall. So if you are thinking, again, of going abroad next semester or summer for any faculty-directed programs or fall, you should apply by October 5th. Now, if for some reason you don't get the award in this application cycle, you will have an opportunity to reapply by March 1st. So I really encourage you to take advantage of this and apply by October 5th. We're going to have actually the first informational session about this scholarship will be today from 4 to 5 in our office in 502. So if you're available, feel free to stop by. We also offer scholarship writing workshops. So, and the schedule is also on the screen. We also, if you go to our homepage on our website, there is a link to the upcoming event. So all these workshops are listed there as well. This is just, some quotes from students. I think it's always nice to read those and kind of see what students have experienced or gained when they were abroad. Okay, I will give you a few minutes to kind of read through that. I still have a couple more minutes before 12:30, so I think I'm doing good on time. Okay, So these are the examples of the partnership programs for students in the College of Business. And as you can see, it's variety of locations, variety of institutions and programs. By the way, I will send you a recording of this presentation and also a PDF of the PowerPoint so that you have it if you want to go back and sort of look at the programs and options offered through our office. You'll have it available. And this is one of my favorite programs, Temple University, Japan. Again, we've had quite a few business students who went on that program, but also we've had students who went to London School of Economics. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this school. Just again, more of a kind of visual representation where business courses of business coursework is offered. And again, as you can see, there are a lot of different options in different countries.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Sorry, I was just looking like the different programs where it was saying by pairs and stuff. There were like
Here?
the last before that one.
Uh-huh.
Like the UCD and stuff, is that the initials for the program there, or is that like?
This is University College Dublin.
Okay,
So there are a lot of acronyms. Yeah, so this is the name of the university in Dublin, where they offer a lot of different business courses, and where UIC, we have affiliation with this school, and
Okay.
that's where you guys can enroll, can go to that school.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Are all of these schools English speaking, or would we be recommended to know the language?
For all of these programs, the coursework is in English.
Wonderful, thank you.
But again, if you go, I mean, if you want, you can take the local language. Like, for example, again, I'm just keep referring to this Temple University in Japan. They offer Japanese if you want to, but this is not a requirement. Any other questions?
Does your financial aid apply to summer programs as well? I know you said it kind of can go over, but is that for summer as well, just to be sure?
Yes, yes. Any aid that students are eligible for to receive in the summer, absolutely, yes. I know, for example, Pell Grant for sure, at least how it used to be for the last few years, it was available in the summer. So I really hope that Pell Grant will be available in the summer as well. Okay, I think we don't have any other questions. So I would like to invite Dr. Pagano and Cabrera to present their program.
Thank you, Irina. So I'm going to talk about the global supply chain in Mexico. And this is at Monterrey Tech in Querétaro. And you're going to have to move this, I guess. Okay, I'll just tell you and you move it, unless you can give me. So anyway, go back to the previous page. So the location is Querétaro, Mexico. This is, it's right in the middle of Mexico. And this is the campus in Monterrey Tech campus. It's a beautiful, beautiful campus, all brand new. It's really a beautiful place. And then they're both graduates and undergraduates can qualify for this. We have two courses that we're going to teach. Professor Cabrera and I will teach these courses. It goes from June to July in 2022. So there are two courses, Management 480 and 481. 480 is Transportation Systems. This is a transportation course. And the second one is Managerial Logistics. This is logistics and supply chain management. Okay, good. Go ahead. Next. So they have this program, with UIC. And I and Professor Cabrera will be there along with you. So go ahead. And then here are the calendar, and there are different trips involved, and maybe Professor Cabrera can say something about some of these trips to Tio, I can't pronounce that, and Mexico City. Maybe you can tell us something about these.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pagano. As you can see in the agenda, you have the opportunity not only to have a great academic experience, the credentials of both Dr. Pagano and myself as researchers on supply chain and also practitioners in the industry, it's very extensive. In addition to that, you have the opportunity to visit historical places. Querétaro is located in one of the most famous areas of Mexico in terms of history. Also, you have the opportunity to try the local cuisine, to really taste the Mexican flavor. And also there are some optional trips, including, as Dr. Pagano say, and I recognize it's a difficult word to pronounce, Teotihuacan, where are the Aztec pyramids, some of the biggest pyramids in the continent. So it's a 3-hour ride from Querétaro to Mexico City. So that's an optional trip that you really will enjoy. And in addition to that, there will be as an optional trip, a trip to a very close Mexican beach to the Querétaro area, which is Ixtapa. That's optional, and of course, you have to be paid as a separate attraction. But summarizing.
Let me just say something about Ixtapa.
Yeah, yes, go ahead, Dr. Pagano.
I've been there several times, and that's a really great place. It's right on the Pacific Ocean. It's it was originally a plantation where they grew pineapples and other fruits, and the Mexican government turned this into this resort area, just beautiful with quite a few hotels right on the ocean, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. It's just been a wonderful place to go to. You know, it's interesting. There's an inlet from the ocean, and there are some restaurants right there. And I remember going to this one restaurant, and they had an area there that goes out into the water, and these kids were having breakfast, and in the water there was a crocodile, and they were throwing food to the crocodile, and I guess the crocodile is very tame and used to having people around it. So you know, it was really interesting. Anyway, it's a great place, beautiful location, and I think you really would enjoy that. Go ahead, Juan Jose.
Yes. Well, let me just add about Querétaro. Is one of the safest area in Mexico, and it's not only a very touristic city, but also it has a lot of industry. So as a part, if you move to the next area, as a part of the program, you have the opportunity to visit different multinational companies, to visit their facilities. And of course, we always recognize the interdependence between US and Mexico in terms of supply chain. Actually, Mexico become now the biggest commercial partner for US. Sometimes it's China, sometimes it's Mexico, but having the opportunity to understand the dynamics of the supply chain between the two countries will give you a very good grasp on supply chain concepts. So we move to the next one, please. Well, in addition, you will have the opportunity to be hosted by a Mexican family. Okay, so this would be a perfect chance to taste the day-to-day life of a Mexican family. All these families are, of course, pre-selected by Tec de Monterrey. We are very strict on the standard of requirements, and all of them are located on a walking distance to Querétaro campus. And actually, Dr. Pagano had the opportunity to visit our campus. I think it was before the pandemic, almost 2 years ago, right, Dr. Pagano?
Right, yeah, I really enjoyed being there. I was in Querétaro for a whole week, and it's just a really nice place. It really is a beautiful place. And there's the old, my hotel was in the old part of the town, and so it was really walking distance to all these really great restaurants right downtown, and that was just really great. I really enjoyed it, and the people were just really wonderful as well.
Thank you, Tony. Okay, I will not go into detail with all the great things that are included as a part of this program. I'm just going to highlight 3 of them. First of all, if you see the second bullet point, you have also the opportunity to have cultural classes, including dancing classes such as salsa. Probably you have heard about the salsa type of dancing, and also have the opportunity to practice how to do some Mexican handcrafts, and also some cooking classes for regional Mexican cuisine.
And the faculty members take some of these courses too? But...
Yes, you will be also invited, Dr. Pagano.
Okay.
And also sport classes. The campus includes a big variety of sport facilities, including a swimming pool and gymnasium. So you will feel really like in home when you stay in the campus. Actually, most of us students spend a whole day in the campus enjoying the facilities. And as I already mentioned, accommodation will be offered by a Mexican family. And you will have always Tec de Monterrey full-time advisors. And we will assign you with the student bodies from our own Tec de Monterrey Mexican students. So you will always feel welcome and supported, I would say. So I don't know if there are any questions about what is included in the program. Okay, if not, okay, what's not included? I mean, minor things like international insurance, you just need to make sure that you comply with UIC guidelines. In terms of the daily transportation from the home state to the campus, as I already said, most of the families are located on a walking distance to the campus. The campus is located at downtown, close to the major attractions of the city. And you always can use a Uber. It's not only very safe, but also very affordable. I would say that almost any ride in Querétaro City would not cost more than $5 to $7 versus what I have been paying here in Chicago. It seemed like a good deal for me. Okay, so you move to the next one. Well, I will volunteer myself to be your contact. If you have any additional information, of course, you always can contact Dr. Pagano. And let me just, as a closing comment, to reinforce that Tec de Monterrey is a top-ranked university in Mexico, according to the QS ranking of universities, is the top one in Mexico. We have 26 campuses, so you have the opportunity to visit one of them. We have around 90,000 students total, and we cover all academic areas, of course, including business, and we will be more than happy to see you there. Thanks, everybody. If you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead.
Let me just mention something about the academic part. There are 2 courses, a transportation course and a supply chain logistics course. Those 2 courses make up the requirements for a um, um, for a concentration in managerial logistics. And so you take those two, and then all you have to do is take one other course at UIC. One is the international business course, or you could take a marketing course that's related to e-commerce. So you take one of those other two, and so you then would have a concentration in managerial logistics. So if you're interested in the logistics area, that would be really great. Also, part of the program will be that you would develop a plan for a business to export from Mexico to the United States. And so that would, that's really a combination of international business and supply chain logistics. So, from an academic standpoint, it's very, very worthwhile. And not only do you gain a lot by being there and all the things we've talked about, but also it's a great academic opportunity as well. I think we ran out of time here. So
Thank you so much, Dr. Pagana and Dr. Cabrera. And now I would like to invite our next presenters, Morgan Lord and Stephanie Anderson. You should be able to share the screen. Hopefully it works.
Let's give this a try. Hopefully that's lining up for you all.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
All right. So Morgan and I we work in the Student Professional Development Program, also known as, there's also the I-Lead section of the College of Business. Yeah, we're here to talk to you about the program that we're developing for the summer of 2022. We're going to go to Ireland. We're going to talk to you through these slides of a couple features of this program. And we hope you get excited from this presentation today about just going abroad somewhere, even if it's not with Morgan and I.
Definitely.
So the combination that we're going to be working with in Ireland is that you're going to do an internship that's going to be facilitated through one of our partners in Dublin, and that will be available for College of Business students, but also if you've got friends that are in other majors, there's also internships that are available to them there too. The other element is going to be regarding professional presence. That's a lot of the courses that Morgan and I teach. And we're going to also be exploring improvisational theater abroad, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. First up, the Dublin internship. So we're working with our partner AIFS Global, and they have, this is just a snapshot of their website, but they have a number of career field internships in lots of different categories, including a lot of business related ones. Our goal is that you get actual work experience that you can then translate and we can discuss it in classroom spaces.
And this would be an 8-week internship during the summer as well. So, and in Dublin, which is, becoming a highly ranked global business city in terms of like tech and startups. So there's a lot of opportunity there for internships. And since it's Dublin, which is a little smaller than some of the major global cities, you might have your hands in a little deeper with more action in your internship, which is kind of cool.
All right. Following up of this one, Morgan, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so this is where that whole professional presence and improv starts coming in, but we hope to take these big steps to take you, out of your comfort zone and into these different activities that we can do together through site visits, Individual professional work will be working with you in a classroom setting to kind of discuss your day-to-day activities in your internship. And also just all with the goal, all these activities that we have, which is what we do on the day-to-day here at UIC, is all with the goal to increase your confidence, your professional presence, and your career exploration. So we hope to get you out of your comfort zone. And you'll be working on this internship, and then you'll kind of have time to process it when we meet for class on campus here at Trinity. A few hours each week, we'll meet up around your internships. We'll all meet up there and kind of discuss how things are going, process some things, work on some things. We'll give you exercises to work on to, increase your professional presence in the office as well. And this is also where we'll be staying on campus. So Trinity College is a beautiful place located, centrally right in Dublin. And we also kind of liked it as a spot, besides that it's the oldest university on campus. It's like from 1592, home of the Book of Kells, which is this beautiful thing that we can look at. It's also home to many students and many other students who are studying abroad. So we thought, what better place than to be in a place where you're in this hub where you can meet other individuals from around the world and from Ireland.
So in addition to your internship, which you'll get course credit and internship abroad credit for, you're also going to be doing these in-class meetings with us. So for the first 4 weeks of our courses that we're going to be doing together, we're going to be using improvisational techniques mostly to get us more ready for any kind of in-office presentations you might have to give or conversations. We're going to practice interviewing skills. Essentially, we want to have you, as Morgan mentioned, step outside of your comfort zone and get a little bit more comfortable in those settings. So Morgan and I, in our department, we use applied improvisational theater techniques to develop interpersonal skills for interviewing, networking, just feeling more comfortable in your skin. And our goal is that in our classes, we're going to address this public speaking, networking, interviewing, and also how to welcome spontaneous interaction with confidence.
Awesome. And we also, we hope to see theater performances. We hope to see guest speakers. We'll have all these lined up so we can kind of analyze and compare their styles. We also hope to take a mini trip over to London, where we would again get to see, a possible theater performance, an amazing guest speaker, and then just a quick trip of London. We would be able to see theater in Dublin and in Galway, which is a nearby city. And maybe even Chicago before we leave. So we could compare all of those and kind of what presence we recognize and we admire. And besides that, really fun trips. I mean, studying abroad is all about the exploration, and we are all for that. So trips to the Cliffs of Moher, trips to Galway, that possible London trip. I mean, trips to castles, we just hope that we can encourage you to get out and explore while we are there. So hopefully you want to come.
And if you're interested in learning more about this Ireland specific trip, Morgan and I will drop into the chat our email addresses so you can reach out to us. That's all from us.
Thank you, Morgan and Stephanie. Are there any questions?
I do see a question about cellular service, and I think we did talk to Marley a bit about that, but they do work it out so that your cell service can work, but we can get you more specifics on that. And also it is worked out so that you get a free transit pass. So while you're in Ireland, you'll be getting to everywhere you need to go all on your card, all set up.
Perfect. Any questions from students?
I noticed Jordan had one earlier about info sessions. Jordan, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you. Yeah, basically, so I watched the video on the login portal, and it was like a few minutes. Is that what you were referring to as the first step, or do I have to meet with someone? Can you all hear me?
We can. I don't know the answer to that, but
Irina, what is your recommendation?
in terms of the first step, could
In
you-
terms of the first step, I can put a link, or if you go to studyabroad.uic.edu, you just go to get started, and there's a first step information there. Again, it could we've been offering it in person in 502 UH. We just put our address there, or you can just still do it on Zoom.
Right. I just wanted to clarify. I think I've done it because at the end there's like a check button or something to let
If
you
you
all-
have done it, you don't need to redo it unless you know you did it a long time ago and you want to refresh your memory. Feel free to do so.
No, I just wanted to clarify my steps to make sure I'm like right. So after this, my next step will be meeting with an advisor.
Your next step would be to apply to a program or identify the program. You can, you should meet if you have questions about the programs. And I think that's probably the best approach to take is
that's
to meet with an
definitely-
advisor and just kind of, brainstorm together in terms of the programs. And then if there are any specific questions about scholarships or the program or the courses, we'll try to answer those. You should also think about what kind of courses you are hoping or you would like to take abroad. And for that, you would also need to talk to your CBA advisor as well.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely need to talk to an advisor. I tried to go to University Hall yesterday, but they told me to wait till after this. And I want to study in Europe, so whoever.
There are a lot of options in Europe, as you saw, depending on, summer. If summer, we already have an option in Dublin. So that's obviously a possibility. But of course, as you saw the map or, the list of programs, there are quite a few. Before I forget, if you do not have a passport, please, everybody, please apply for one as soon as possible. Right now, it takes a really long time to get a passport. If you already have a passport, make sure it's valid. Just kind of, see if you need to renew it. It needs to be valid at least 6 months after the end of your program. So just double check the date so that, you're all ready to go. And then you realize, ooh, my passport is not valid. Any other questions, comments, suggestions, anything? Oh, we're doing great on time. Thank you, everybody, for being on time. Well, if there are no questions, thank you again for everybody for coming. As I said, hopefully the recording worked out. So I'm going to follow up with the email with the link to the recording. Stephanie Anderson raised her hand.
Yeah.
Yes, Stephanie.
I'm just kicking it to Jordan. In the chat, he's asking about how do you go about scheduling an appointment for the CBA?
Oh, with CBA advisor.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know if my earlier question was clear enough. That's basically what I'm trying to get. Like, I'm good with everything. I just need to speak to an advisor because I want to get the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The CBA appointment, I believe you just schedule it through iAdvice. That's sort of the way to go.
Okay, thank you.
Do you know who your advisor is?
No, I don't.
Okay, but I think if you go to my, uic.edu, you should see kind of your assigned advisor. If you're having difficulties, I guess, I don't know, email me and I'll try to help.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? No? Okay, good. So I hope this presentation was helpful. You've learned a lot. You are thinking and planning on going to study abroad. Again, just know that there's a lot of support at UIC. There are advisors, there are study abroad advisors, college advisors, faculty members. Don't be shy, talk to us. If you have questions, if you don't ask them, we don't know that you actually have questions. So again, we're here to help you. I will send PDF of this presentation as well as hopefully the recording. I hope to see you soon in the office. Keep in touch. Make sure you know what the deadlines are for the programs and scholarships. Again, the earlier scholarship deadline that's coming up is October 5th. All right. Thanks again. Bye.
Thank you, Irina. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Nice to meet you guys. Bye.
Bye. Nice to talk to
Bye.
you guys.
Nice to talk to you. Thank you. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming.